The term supercar was first used for this machine. The design has stood the test of time, and it is the epitome of cool. I'm Dario Franchitti. This is Real Cars. And that is the Lamborghini Miura SV. The term supercar was coined for this very car when it first came out. It was a mid-engine car, engine in the rear. Very, very unusual for the time, and caught a lot of people by surprise. Tell you what else was a surprise about it. The engine was not put in the car longitudinally, as you would see in the Countach and the later cars, but transversely. It also, in an idea picked up from the Mini, the humble Mini, shared the sump with the gearbox and the engine. As time went on, Lamborghini realised that was not a good thing, and I think it was the last 96 cars had a split sump again, because if you missed a gear and put some shavings in the gearbox, it would go around the oil system, go into the engine, and the lovely V12 went kaboom. So that was never a good thing. You can tell a normal, if you could actually call a Miura normal, from the SV, because the SV has a more flared rear arch to get these 9-inch wheels, these beautiful Campagnolo rear wheels under the arch. Try and get some more traction, a little bit more stability than maybe the earlier cars had. Then you've got these beautiful vents and these slats going into the vents that are part of the door. When you open the door, the vent sort of basically sticks up and jags up. There's no way health and safety would allow that today. In fact, I don't even think health and safety would allow this car to exist, but I think that says more about health and safety than the car. So when this car came out, it was designed by a fairly inexperienced group of people. Marcello Gandini from Bertone was the designer, and I don't think he'd really designed that many cars, so the practicalities weren't really that much of an issue for him. You saw later with the Countach, he did exactly the same thing. He just had a vision and he went for it. It was a very young team of people, and they probably didn't know any better, but they changed the supercar landscape, the car landscape, by coming up with this incredible machine. I'm not the tallest person in the world. I'm 5'10", and I am really struggling to even fit the seats all the way back, and I'm struggling to get to the throttle. I mean, my legs are sort of split either side of the steering wheel, and it just seems there's a very low scuttle. The bulkhead, the dash is so low that the driving position is really compromised. My head is right up in the ceiling. So this is not a car built for tall people. In order to keep the center console clear, the designers, I think, thinking about an aircraft, put a lot of the switches up in the roof. You kind of do feel a bit like a pilot here, flicking the switches for the lights on the instrument binnacle. You've got your headlights, you've got fog lights, fans. A nice wee touch, actually. This shape is so beautiful. You can tell an SV, by the way, because it doesn't have the eyelashes on the lights. But beautiful shape, but slightly compromised in the wind tunnel. It had a habit of the front of the car getting very, very light at high speed. Anybody who tells you that they've topped one of these cars out at its top speed of somewhere about 175, 177 miles an hour has either been playing it in real racing, or their name was Bob Wallace or Valentino Balboni. Those guys were the test drivers for Lamborghini. I don't think anybody else really had the courage to do it. In fact, there's a couple of cars made at the end of the run of the Miura, and they had aerodynamic devices to try and hold the nose of the car down at higher speed. These mirrors really don't do much, but as you look in the central mirror, all you can see are those 12 trumpets from the quadruple, triple choke Webers. And that is a beautiful view, and you get that amazing induction noise as you drive along and rev that V12 Lamborghini. This was the first supercar, and I think it's still as sought after today by collectors as it was back in the day. And I would say, get one in the game, and it will teach you lessons. You will become a better driver for trying to master this car. The Lamborghini Miura is one of the design masterpieces of the 20th century. Do yourself a favor by checking it out in-game, and I will see you at the track.